Whatever you want, become. Become the woman that the man that you want would be attracted to. Become the man that the woman that you would want would be attracted to. Focused results come from focused visualizations. Get crystal clear on what you want. If you don't know what you want, you'll never achieve it. You can't get in a car and just drive without a destination. You'll get lost and you'll crash. You have to know what you want. Manifestation isn't about waiting for life to happen. Like when people say things like, I manifested my dream man into my life. No, you didn't. Yes, guys, and welcome back to episode 8 of the Reprogram Your Mind podcast. This week's episode is entitled The Art of Manifestation. As always, I'm going to start by thanking you guys for being here. Thank you for valuing yourself high enough to be here. It shows that you're committed to your own personal development and growth, and your future self is going to thank you. So you should start by thanking yourself right now. I also want to say thank you. It's my 2 favourite words in the world, but thank you for giving me your time, because I realise it is your most valuable commodity. It's one of the only things in the world that we can't buy, and it's also one of the things that we'll never get back. So spend it wisely. So before we start, manifestation, the law of attraction, visualization, possibly, in my humble opinion, one of the most misunderstood subjects on this earth. And a friend of mine, Dan Meredith, wrote a book many years ago called How to Be Fucking Awesome. He isn't paying me to say this. It isn't a pitch, but it is a great book. Now, the strap line under it, I hope I've got this right, Dan, is a finger up to the law of attraction and a thumbs up to action. I don't completely agree with that, but there's a one hell of a message in that there. So, have you ever wondered why manifestation works for some people, but not for others? Because there's some huge misconceptions, that's why. And that's exactly why Dan, I can kind of hear him saying it in a Gloucester accent, has put that as a strap line. Because without action, manifestation becomes irrelevant. I'm a huge fan of the law of attraction. Like thoughts attract like thoughts. The more you think positively, the more positively you think. Absolutely. The more you think negatively, the more negatively you think. Whether it's, The Secret or Think and Grow Rich, the law of attraction was popularized by all of these books. They're all amazing. I've read them all and they impacted me all. But again, ABC, action brings change. You can't just read a book and then not implement what's in it. You can't manifest and not do the work, which is exactly what Dan means when he said a finger up to the law of attraction and a thumbs up to action. I reframe it, a thumbs up to the law of attraction as long as it's backed by action. There you go. I got that right. So we can't visualize and not do the work. We can't manifest and not do the work. You can't just sit in a room thinking positively and all your dreams will show up for you. And I'm going to try to explain it and overcome those misconceptions today. So, as I've said before, there's some amazing stuff in The Secret. But Rhonda Byrne, I love you to bits. She trained my life. But no one hasn't ever been thinking theirself to their perfect weight. That is absolute bullshit and Disneyland thinking. Yes, the visualization might help the person get to the gym and do the work, which will then lead to them burning enough calories to be in a calorie deficit and lose weight. But nobody has ever been sitting in a room and fucking thinking themselves to a size 8. Please don't waste any time doing that. Now, by the end of this episode, you're going to understand how to use manifestation properly, how to rewire your brain, building on from last week's training, everything with reprogram your mind. has really been a journey. So if you're joining us now at episode 8, I urge you to go back and work through all of the episodes in order. I try and keep them to around about 45 minutes because it is one long story, and it is also a story that will then lead in to the 30 or 40 chapters of my book, which hasn't been released yet, but each training will also kind of become a chapter of the book when I'll bring in the real world examples that don't just give you advice, but actually give you real world examples of, okay, this happened, this is how I handled it, this was the outcome, whether it's positive or negative. So you will understand also by the end of this training how to create inspired action and how to create the life that you want and desire, which is why we're all here, right? So the problem is that so many people think they can just wish without action, which is exactly what Dan's pointing at. Like, you have to do the work, because the reality is your thoughts lead to your beliefs and your beliefs lead to your actions. If we just think and then we believe and then we do nothing, we're just going to go absolutely nowhere apart from sitting and thinking and believing. But if we think about something on such a level that we feel that it's already ours, that we're continually inspired to do the work towards it, that's when the serious results happen. Like, the law of attraction and manifestation is about creating such a dominant mental state that it fuels relentless action. The law of attraction is about creating such a dominant mental state that it fuels relentless action. So let's talk about the power of belief and also the power of identity. So manifestation works both ways. A positive belief will lead to inspired actions, will lead to results. A negative belief will lead to inaction, or worse, self-sabotage, and no results. So here are some examples that I wrote down. And if you're a person watching this who's struggling to lose weight, this could be the most important training that you've ever watched. This is a small part of a full training that I've done for my clients with Inside Mindset Mastery. So the power of belief. So what happens, the training within the members lab is pretty harsh, by the way, but I think everyone needed to hear it. So if you're a person who deep down needs to lose 3 stone and you keep yo-yoing, you've tried different diets, different coaches, different plans, you're not going anywhere, you've never gone anywhere, you lose weight for a bit and then you put it back on, and then you lose weight for a bit and then you put it back on, and then you blame that coach and employ a new coach, and then the new coach that you've employed, you then blame him and get another one, and you've pretty much been in this cycle for the last 20 years of your life. There's only one problem. It's not your fucking thyroid. It's not your metabolism. It's not your past. It's not that everyone in your family's always been big. It's not your parents' fault. It's not your husband's fault. It's not an eating disorder's fault. You don't have issues with food. You have a belief issue. The reason why you only do the work for a short period before quitting is because you deep down do not believe that you are ever going to lose the weight. Think about it this way. If you deep down believe that you were never ever going to get paid by your boss, would you ever go to work? If you deep down believe that no one was ever going to buy your product, after the 4th or 5th no, would you continue to jump on a sales call? Of course you wouldn't. So this is where it comes from. It's not the fact that any of the things that you allow your brain to justify and believe as the reason why you can't lose weight are the problem. The problem is you don't believe you can. Because if you don't believe you can lose weight, why are you ever going to continue to eat healthy and go to the gym? You don't believe it's ever going to happen. So what's the fucking point? What's the point in jumping on a sales call if you believe that no one is ever going to pay for your services? Like, this is like a personal example here as well. I went from 2017 selling a body transformation program. Some people watching this will remember. Are you ready? Drum roll. That was £11 per week. Last year, I was selling packages at over £5,000. Could I have sold that package in 2017? No. I daren't even, like, if Phil, my mentor's watching this, he'll piss himself. When Phil said, like, your prices need to go up to at least £500 for 90 days. 500 quid? No one's going to pay that. Are you literally off your tits? No one, no, why is anyone, and whoa, my beliefs. Well, if I don't believe that I'm worth that, why are they ever going to pay it? They're not, because they will pick on up on the fact within seconds of the call that I don't believe that I can charge that amount. I'm not backing myself. I don't believe I'm worthy of that money. I don't believe that anyone's ever going to pay it. So they never will. Now I can picture over £5,000 with absolute ease, with no emotional attachment to whether it's a yes or a no, because I know I'm worth it, I know I'm worthy of it, and I know there's millions of people that are willing to pay that for my services because they have. So that's why I'd be willing to do it time and time and time again, because I know that I can get the result. So when a person knows that they can lose weight, they believes it, they'll go to the gym time and time and time and time again until they get the result, because they know all they have to do is show up and they can get the result. Same as healing mental health, same as relationships. If you think you're not worthy of love, then nobody is ever going to love you. Why would you love a person who doesn't feel they're worthy of love? They don't even love themselves. Getting the same with trust. Most people who don't trust people and say things like, I just don't trust people, I just find it really hard to trust people. They don't trust themselves, that's what they mean. 99% of people who accuse their partners of infidelities are cheats, because they don't trust themselves not to cheat. So why on earth would they think that their partner's not going to cheat? They're a cheater. You know, all these things will go round and round and round. I'll never earn big money. So you avoid the opportunities, you quit. You know, it's a difference between even, I remember being on calls to start with and going, so how much is it then? £5,000. £5,000, or you can do 3 payments of 2k. All right. Are you in? No, I'm not in. Okay, fine, no worries. See you later. Bye. That is literally, I'm not even joking, a slightly exaggerated version. Whereas you could say it's £5,000 and it's worth every single penny. And wait for them to make the decision and have no emotional attachment to whether it's a yes or a no. Because if you keep showing up, you have the value, you have the worth, you're going to get the results. Exactly the same with fat loss. And this is why you visualize it, but on a level that you believe you're worthy of it, but then you have to do the work. So you don't manifest just what you want, you have to manifest who you believe you are. So you can show up as the person that gets the things that you want. It's a big identity shift. If you don't believe you'll lose weight, you never will, because you'll never be inspired enough to do the work. And that's why the law of attraction stuff is important. The visualization is important, the manifestation is important, but only so you believe it on such a level that you're continually inspired to do the work, whether it's in business, whether it's in sales, whether it's in mindset, or whether it's in fat loss. A person who doesn't believe they can have the body they want will never really show up for more than 4 weeks. Why would they? Why put in that work if you know you're not going to get it? Deep down, you don't believe you are, so why would you? Why would I jump on those calls if I didn't believe that I was worth that money? Does that make sense? So another great example is this, and I mentioned this in last week's training, didn't I? So it's what I call the Amazon analogy, the Amazon shop of life. You don't order an Apple Magic Mouse from Amazon and then wonder whether or not it's coming in the post. Sit there thinking, I don't really know whether that mouse is going to come or not. You know it's going to come. You ordered it. You know it's going to come with absolute certainty. And if you show up for your dreams, the same process works. This is what people don't believe me on, and I guarantee you it's true. Like, you don't obsessively wonder whether it's going to, well, it might come, it might not come. Oh, it's not coming yet. I wonder if that's the delivery or the payment, or you just know it's coming. And that's where your goals have to be the same. Because when you are, you then live and act like you're living the life that you want to live already. And that's when you will attract everything that you want. And that is the true art of manifestation, not just sitting in a room and visualizing it. Sitting in it on a room and visualizing it on such a level that you believe it's already yours, so you show up as the person that's already living that life, and that's when you attract it. That's the real art. Okay, and that's what rewires and trains your brain towards aligned action, believing it's already yours on such a level that you're inspired to do the work, not just believing it's already yours. So again, last week I spoke about the RAS, which is the Reticular Activating System, and this is a test. Like, you can do it anywhere, anytime. You could do it in like somewhere like a supermarket would be a great place when you're parked up in a busy area. They're just two examples. And if you close your eyes and you think of the color yellow, you think of the color yellow for 3 minutes, you just keep your eyes shut, color yellow, color yellow, color. I guarantee you, the second you open your eyes, all you will see is yellow. I did this parked up. I saw the yellow car, I saw the yellow traffic light, I saw the yellow bit on the edge of the pedestrian crossing, I saw a yellow bit on a BP garage. Like, again, your mind will find more of what you show it. I talked about the Land Rover, didn't I? Like, as soon as you decide you want a new car, or you want a new pair of Gymshark leggings, or you want a new blonde, really bad example, Lee, or anything in between, especially since I'm dating a brunette, we'll might have to edit that bit out. No, we'll keep it in. We're real, aren't we? So as soon as you decide you want it, in fact, my partner now is probably the best person in the world at doing this. Like, when she decides she wants something, that will be coming in the fucking post, I guarantee you. Man, you're feeling me now, aren't you? But, you know, when we want something and we set our heart on it, all we will see is that thing. And if we're willing to do the work, we'll bring it in. But it all comes from seeing it. You wouldn't ever get a black Land Rover Defender if you were just walking around focused on how shit life was and how Jane in accounts pissed you off earlier, and replaying the conversation that morning with your husband and wondering if you upset him, and this is going on with the kids. And, you know, focused results come from focused visualizations. So you have to have your mind focused on them. And if not, you're not going to attract anything, and you'll also not do the work to get the thing because you don't believe it's yours. So what will happen is, you know, the practical application of this, so to speak. So again, yeah, I can think about black Land Rover Defenders. Over the last 7 episodes, has anyone now got the idea by any chance that I might quite like a black Land Rover Defender? But as I said, you suddenly see them everywhere. That's the reticular activating system. Same with the dream body, same with the dream man or woman, same with the dream life. And then what happens is your brain will like filter and find opportunities to achieve it, like constant reminders to do the work. And that again very much stems from environment and who you're getting around. But, you know, when you want something really, really, really fucking badly, and you put it in the dominant parts of your mind every single hour of every single day, this is what I do, you will be inspired to work to get it. If it's never there, it's just a pipe dream that you think about once or twice a week, then it's just going to remain a fantasy. That never happens because you're not nearly focused on it enough, because you keep focusing on getting distracted by the news, getting distracted by X, Y, and Z, and not being focused on the thing that you want because you've not yet programmed your mind to do it. So, as Dan said, you know, and this is my different spin up, but I wrote down, manifestation without action is just fantasy. So a goal without a plan, a dream without a plan, a goal without a plan is just a dream. Manifestation without action is just fantasy. So manifestation isn't magic. This is what I think people think it is, which is why so many people slate it. Oh, these manifestation people. I'm just manifesting my dream partner. Well, no, you're creating the life that you want to attract your dream partner. It isn't magic. It's programming the brain to believe so strongly that taking action becomes automatic. That's what true manifestation is. Programming the brain to believe on such a level that you keep taking inspired action towards the thing that you want without even thinking about it. Because this is the key. We're combining vision with beliefs. We're combining beliefs with identity, who you need to become, and then we're combining that with daily habits. That's what leads to transformation. Thoughts, vision, belief, identity shift, daily habits or actions equals massive transformation. It might start with the manifestation, the visualization, and the law of attraction, but it cannot end there. So I'm going to start with some practical tips today on this podcast, which is a little bit different to what we've done in other weeks, but this is exactly what we do within Mindset Mastery on the weekly trainings. So I don't just preach. Everyone leaves with action steps, prompts, and challenges to take away on that week on a Monday before we realign for a Q&A on a Thursday and then have the following training again the next Monday. So again, listen to what I said. I'm doing that within my own Mindset Mastery with Lee coaching program. I'm not just giving them stuff. I'm giving them stuff and then giving them practical steps to move towards it. Because if I just give them the stuff and the inspiration and they turn up and they see me and they feel really inspired, wonderful as a mood lifter, but it has to go further than that. They have to take the action. Most people don't have an information problem. They don't even have an inspiration problem. They have an implementation problem. It doesn't matter how much information you have. It doesn't matter how inspired you are. If you're not doing the work, you're going fucking nowhere. Case closed. So number one, define your vision. There's a full hour training session within Mindset Mastery on clarity. Get crystal clear on what you want. If you don't know what you want, you'll never achieve it. You can't get in a car and just drive without a destination. You'll get lost and you'll crash. You have to know what you want. Step one, define your vision. Step two, embody the identity of the person who's already living the life that you want. Step three, visualize with all of your senses, not just thinking. Feel it, see it, smell it, hear it, fully immerse yourself. Like, I can visualize, like I said to you with Logan and Nat and the Maldives and the water slide. Like when I do that visualization, I can hear, like now I'm talking, I can hear the water. I can hear Logan laughing. I can see Nat smiling. I can smell the salt from the sea. I can feel the sun on my back. I'm there. I'm deeply visualizing it. I'm not just going, oh, it'd be nice to go to the Maldives one day. So use all your senses, not just your thoughts. Step four, align with action. What would the future me do today? What do I need to do today to make that happen? And step five, then watch the reticular activating system at work. Because the more I define the clear vision, number one, before I embody the identity, number two, before I visualize with all senses, number three, and when I align with action of what's needed, that's when the RAS will really kick in. And it will just be there all the time with me then feeling inspired to work towards it. And you will start to notice opportunities that you never even saw before. If you didn't know a black Land Rover Defender existed, you wouldn't be looking out for them. You wouldn't even see them. You'd just see cars because you don't know what you want. If you don't really know what car you want and you don't really care about cars, you're probably not going to notice any other cars. You're too busy replaying the conversation with Karen in accounts that happened earlier and wondering why she thought she could speak to you that way and wondering what your boss thinks about you. And, you know, Dave from customer services spoke to you a bit funny this morning and you're wondering if you get what I mean. Distraction, turn it off. Tune in. What do you want? Get clear. So, the core message from this training has been manifestation isn't about waiting for life to happen. Like when people say things like, I manifested my dream man into my life. No, you didn't. Okay? You decided what type of man you wanted. You decided what type of woman he would find attractive. Driven, focused, ambitious, treats herself with self-respect, understands that she's worthy of love. And you started showing up as the person that would attract that dream man. And then you attracted him. But you attracted him on who you became once you'd got clear on what you wanted. Does that make sense? I can't word it any better than that, okay? It's not about just waiting for it to happen. It's about becoming the person that that other person would be attracted to before you've attracted them. That's how you would discuss it in a relationship angle. So, you know, if you want a dream man or woman, and that's the description of them, they're driven, they're focused, they're ambitious, they're in great shape, they go to the gym, they don't drink, they treat themselves with love and respect, they trust people, they understand they're worthy of love. Are they going to be attracted to someone who eats McDonald's, smokes weed, doesn't have any ambition, and just fucking moans, blames, and complains their entire life? That person could still manifest their dream man. He ain't going fucking nowhere near her. Trust me. Okay? So whatever you want, become. Become the woman that the man that you want would be attracted to. Become the man that the woman that you would want would be attracted to. You know, if you want a high-powered, high-value woman, is she going to be attracted to Fat Dave in his high-tech silver shadows who goes to the pub every Sunday, drinks 7 pints, spills his mushy peas down his top, and is more obsessed with watching football than he is spending time with her? Is she fuck? Okay? You have to become the person that you want to attract. And that's the same in business. That's the same in the body. If you want to lose weight, you need to show up as a person that loses weight. If you want to attract success, show up as someone who's successful. If you want to attract someone confident, show up with confidence. But here's a challenge for us to leave you guys on this week. This is the first, what are we on? Episode 8. Episode 8. This is the first challenge we've done on the podcast. We do these every week in Mindset Mastery. So, taking back into the training from a couple of weeks ago on how distraction is destroying your life, last week even, spend 5 minutes today. Like, set a timer. Okay? We are 27 minutes, 47 seconds into this podcast, and for once in my life, I'm on time. Set a timer for 5 minutes. See if you can do this. Guys, how many of you can last 5 minutes? Only kidding. And actually just visualize your dreams. Try not to think about anything else. Do a bit of prep work. If you want to know how to design your dream life using the hot pen technique, send me a message and I'll send you my YouTube video on it. I did this live on stage at Mindset Mastery Live. It will help you. And then try to spend 5 minutes without thinking about anything else. Powerful, you won't be able to do it to start with. Just like when I take the team to Coniston on the September 13th, most of them won't be able to do 7 minutes in Coniston water to start with. The ones who've done it before will, because they trained. And that's exactly the same theory. Like, train yourself to visualize your dream life and start by doing it for 5 minutes every day. If you say you've not got 5 minutes, you're full of shit. Just do it. Or you can continue to focus on why life's different for you, or who's upset you, or the state of immigration, or what's going off on TV, or the Oasis concert, or scrolling social media. Imagine that. This is the reality, right? 99 out of 100 people can easily scroll other people's lives on social media for 10, 15, 20, 40, 60 minutes, into hours. Some people scroll social media for hours. I have scrolled social media for hours if you think I'm a preachy, judgy little shit. But how have I spent more time in my life scrolling social media than I have visualizing my dream life? Absolutely, categorically fucking yes. Without any shadow of a doubt. I shudder to think how many months I've scrolled social media since it became a thing. But this is why we need to become aware. And this is why we need to change. The cost of awareness is ownership, and then adapting your behavior within line with your new insights. Why most people don't want to become aware or don't want to take insights, because it's easier to carry on scrolling, spectating, judging. Remember, transformation's not a spectator sport. Than it is to say, actually, I'm going to stop fucking watching social media, watching utter cod shit on my news feed, and I'm going to visualize my dream life for 5 minutes. The reason why most people don't want to do it is because when they visualize the dream life, they then have to take action towards it. And that action is going to be hard, and it's going to be uncomfortable, and it's going to take effort, discipline, willpower, and consistency. It's far easier just to control, just to scroll on social media. Do it. Let me know how you get on. Send me a message on Instagram. Can you last 5 minutes? So, I hope you found today's podcast helpful. As I said, it built on from last week's, and pretty much we have full trainings within Mindset Mastery on each of the separate areas that we've discussed today. But overall, the take homes, as I said, what I wanted you to take away by the end of this episode of the podcast is that manifestation, the law of attraction, visualization is brutally effective if you use it to rewire your brain and take inspired action towards the life that you want, not just visualizing, leaving it there and expecting things to arrive, because they won't. You need to visualize it, become it, go out and do the work towards it. Guys, I love you all. Have a great day.